course, we learned a lot because it was the first time we were hosting this kind of championship in Africa. So, and of course, 11 countries participated that time, and it was our first championship because we used to go to Europe to represent, because Africa was not ready that time, but Kenya, we became ready and we did that. So out of that, the few mistakes that we did, we corrected all of them, and that's why we are in now a World Cup this year. Yes.
And Ibrahim, what was the experience for, because I know when, about a year, almost 2 years ago, when, when the federation was officially being launched, you could see a lot of interest, Uganda, DR Congo, all showing an interest, and the entire, almost everyone around that stretch around Sagana getting really involved with this. The experiences so far?
I think the experience is really gone up, and it has been hyped by everybody. Rafting, having been a very new sport, people did not really understand it. So as people get more knowledge and information on how it is done, what it's done, you get a lot of people getting a lot of interest, especially the youth, drawn from different parts of this country. They have really showed a lot of interest, and as it peaks, we can only hope for the better. Yes.
All right, and bidding and pitching for Kenya to host a Rafting World Cup Series event. You are out there, and you with the International Rafting Federation President, Joseph Willis, and the conversations, pitching it and saying, we are now ready. What was that? Just give us the background story.
Daniel, thank you. We went to Malaysia. We started following up from Argentina. We were in Argentina in November. We did a request of trying to bid. Then they said we go to Malaysia again. December, went to Malaysia. And finally, in February is when we hosted, we went to Osta Valley in Italy, and we did the bid, actually, MOU agreement, and we were given the World Cup. So that's how we were given, because it was supposed to be 4 series, one in Pau, France. In April, we went to Pau, France, and then we missed the Italy one because of, bureaucracy of getting visas. Not easy because we applied, but we are time barred because the process of getting a visa in Kenya takes a while. Then we are in Sagana this week, of course, with the world champions, and very competitive race. And then now we move to Brazil in Sao Paulo in November.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the process.
Now, looking at the rapids on River Sagana, and the entire setup, there is a difficulty that is given for every rafting event. So, Ibrahim, just give us an idea of how, the grading is done. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and the difficulty, such that it offers, a tough course for all the rafters.
Okay. I'd first say that Kenya, we are very fortunate to host, to have one of the best natural courses as far as rafting is concerned worldwide. Yeah, it is ICF certified, and that course has been graded, sometimes grade 3, grade 4, around grade 3, and this means the rapids. The grading comes because of the rapids, how the rapids are made. But the course is normally 300 meters. We have the course 300 meters, yeah, where everybody or all the games are played. It's called a classical format. So we have the different kind of races that happen there. One we call the RX, the other one we call the sprint. Yes, and so we have the RX, we have the sprint, and another one called slalom.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be coming to those, and just tell us more, get back to the grading, the difficulty of, and what it means. Number 1, number 2, number 3, or 4.
Yes. So grading, it depends on how do I put it? Like grade 4 is the highest level you can ever have as far as rafting is concerned. So these levels, the rivers are graded according to the volume and the kind of rapids that the river has, So grade 1 being the least, grade 4 being the highest, You understand? So because the river is a bit natural, you get at times the flow is a bit different. It varies across the year depending on the water levels. So the more the water levels, the higher the grade, you know. Yes.
So, and what's the water level in Sagana right now?
Grade 3, grade 4. Yeah, which is quite the standard. Yeah, for this kind of competition. Yes. Yes.
Now, and one of the things that we've got about this sport is there is para-rafting involved. Just give us a whole concept of how you get, you know, para-athletes into this sport.
Yeah, yes, we have para athletes in this sport. What happens is that they train. First of all, they have to train a lot because, as Ibrahim said, we are using something called classic format. We normally have two formats. One called adventure. Adventure is a format whereby you start from a minimum 4 kilometers, you know, going down the rapids, as you said, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. It is the intensity of the rapid, the water itself. So from grade 1 to grade 4 is where we say we can do an event. Sometimes it can get to grade 5, but grade 5 becomes dangerous when the water's banks spill, and it becomes very difficult. So we don't do anything that time. But we have now classic format and adventure. So adventure is between 4 and 7. And the other one, classic, is just a course, you know, like 300 meters maximum or 280 minimum. So what happens with para, we don't nowadays, we used to do that before with adventure, the 7 kilometers. But because of some of the terrains of the area, you're not able to tell exactly what happens. You cannot we normally have people called judges.
Yes.
Judges are like referees. So you cannot keep everybody, or you cannot actually guarantee safety in a stretch of a 7 kilometer stretch. But because of that, with the World Rafting, or rather United Rafting, actually minimizes to classic format, which is 300 meters only, so that even people who are in the para team you are able to see exactly, and you're able to put together safety measures to, you know, just to oversee the event, that everyone is safe and they keep safe. So that's why the World Series is a safety format. I mean, it's a classic format because of safety.
Yes.
Yes. So, but it takes a lot of while to paddle, because this is a paddling sport. You have to use the hands and you have to paddle. And you have to know the technique of coming through the gates and, you know, maneuvering especially the RX, the slalom and the sprint. So, and you see there are drops also.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that. So it takes a little bit of a while. For you to become an expert as a para, it takes you 1 year of training. Yeah, it's not easy. That's why we don't have very big many teams from the para, because it's very, very, you know, this is an adrenaline sport, other than just like any other sport.
Okay. Ibrahim, you mentioned 3: sprints, RX, and slalom. Let's just go through each one of them. Let's start with sprint. Sprint
basically is, as the name suggests, you know, over the 300-meter course, they have a start and a finish. So sprint, one boat, one country, the fastest to clock the finish line. So it's just a timing thing. No barriers, no nothing. Now, RX, we have...
Now, let me just think like a motorsports guy.
Yes.
Now, proper.
Yes.
So I've got 300 meters.
Yes.
And the entire width of the river.
Yes.
So how do you navigate this so that I have the quickest path possible over 300 meters?
Now, that is where the professionalism comes from, you know, because time will tell you that moving in the middle of the river where the current flows faster, you tend to move faster, as opposed being on the sides or the river banks. So that's where professionalism comes from. But as for a layman, put them, all of them, 4 in a boat. Whoever arrives first, it's the easiest explanation you can give. And all of you must be in the boat with the paddles. So whoever crosses the finish line faster wins that race, whichever country. Now, the RX, we have something we call gates, or, you know, you can call them like barriers, like they have gates. We put them buoys, we call them buoys. So they are placed strategically over the 300-meter course. So you meant to navigate them, you know. So we have different kind of penalties if you touch, you know, if you given more time penalty, you know. So two teams.
So the gates, and from what I've seen, they're suspended and
yes,
look like this.
Yes, they are suspended like that.
So you have to go in between and round.
Yes. So that's how it gets. So the first team to arrive on that side, you know, there are two boats, Kenya or whoever, they start at a go. So you navigate the gate, whoever arrives faster with the least penalty wins.
It's a knockout stage.
It's a knockout
stage, yes. So you go knocking until you get to the final.
So yeah, so it's the slalom?
Slalom, now you go, it's almost the same, but now the buoys are a bit different. We do the PVC. The buoys change those hanging buoys. Yeah, so it's each team at a go. So it's the team with the fastest time and the minimal errors in navigating those gates. You get the difference?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is one team.
Yeah.
Go through it.
Yes.
And because you've mentioned Kenya severally, William, let me come to this. Entries closed last night.
Yes.
So just give us about the participating countries that we've got.
Yes, we have participating countries about 35, but the competing will be about 19 countries that we have. Teams like Morocco, they are already in the country, Congo DR. We have Uganda this morning, they arrived. Burundi came yesterday. Zimbabwe 2 days ago. We have like Russia came yesterday, Italy today, Czech today, Japan today. We have teams like India, some came yesterday. Yes, and of course teams like South Sudan, they are coming, Sudan, Burundi, I mean Rwanda. So we are about 19 countries, participating countries. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I mean competing countries, but participating are 35. People are coming all the way from Brazil, some to benchmark, some to see what is happening. Canada, as far as New Zealand. So because this is the first time it's happening in Kenya, and not Kenya, in Africa also. Because they never thought that Africa has a capacity, but Kenya, we have built that very fast. Of course, through the State Department of Sports, the ministry and the fund, they have really done a good job. So we are supporting. Let's see what happens. I hope we win the gold in this country. Yes.
And from the experience in Port France, that was in April. Now, you may have missed Italy, but let's talk about the lessons learned by Team Kenya in France.
Yeah, it was very competitive because you meet one. It's a paddle sport. Paddle sport requires very big people to paddle. Me, Wahome, myself, and Ibrahim here, we are very small people compared to Russians or Germans, or they are very big.
Eastern European people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just take a look at them. Those guys are huge.
They are huge. Actually, the size of an arm is the size of a Kenya athlete, Mugu. That is what we see.
No, you'll have to say sorry to someone who's in this studio.
They are very big. Actually, it's you cannot even believe. They are very tall. 9-8 feet. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Kenyans, we are a little bit smaller.
No, wait, you're one of the tallest people around.
Of course,
by common standards.
Yeah, but you see, what I'm trying to say is that, but now, the issue is not even being tall. The issue is the technique. What we didn't have Kenya was the technique. Technique. But now we have learned the technique. Because any activity, or whether it's running, it's the technique. Sometimes you can be small, but the punchline, finishing, is what we look at. But now we have mastered them, especially the Russians. Let's see what happens in Kenya in a few days to come. We see whether we can have something. Oh. Yeah, but in France, it was very competitive. There's a team, Kenya, at some point we became number 4, very close. In Argentina, we never did, because the waters are very, very cold. Freezing, 7 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that was in November. That is the
November, yes.
Southern Hemisphere. Yes, Southern Hemisphere winter.
Yes. Pentagonia in Rio Alumine. Very, very cold. It took me 3 days without taking a shower, man.
I'm telling you. Those are confessions you don't do.
I'm telling you, it was horrible. 6 degrees. It was very bad. So I could feel for Kenya because you get into, there's a place, actually there's an ice water which passed. And you say you come from Nairobi. And I mean, even when you are watching, it was really freezing. So it's a good opportunity. Now we have the gear, we are now growing as a sport in this country. I mean, it's absolutely now, we are very happy that now, in the next few days, Kenya will do something.
Well, actually, let's talk up. It is July in Kenya. In Kenya, the moment you say, in July, everyone knows what you're talking about. The freezing weather. Our conditions in Sagana at the moment, because, at times, windy, chilly, cold.
Well, actually, some of the Europeans that have already arrived from the Holland and all these places, the first comment they made was, this is perfect weather, because currently in Europe, it's so hot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it over the news. So they are really loving this kind of climate, So...
how degree Celsius, about how many degrees Celsius?
Around...
especially around the competition area.
23, 24 maximum. Lowest probably is 8, 19, 20. It's quite manageable, Yeah. So as you're saying, temperature and the degrees play a big role, because like in Argentina, we had to get very special equipment, special suits, so that you're able to actually do the rafting, because you also have specifications on what you are required by the United Rafting to wear before you enter, not only for safety, but for safety and kind of risk. Yes, so temperature is amazing for everybody. Yes.
Actually, let's talk about that equipment, because there's a helmet, there's a life jacket, and
there's a swimsuit also.
And the swimsuit
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
Just take us through that.
Yeah, it's a swimsuit. It's a special swimsuit. It's a material that when you get into the water, you don't get contact with the water. So, and then the way it's built is it's nice. It doesn't allow contact between body and the water. So whether the water is very cold, it doesn't touch you. You see, that the only problem now comes in when you're doing freezing. You come from Kenya, then you go to, let's say, Russia up there. Then, and you are doing that. Number one, you really get a shock. Yeah, but now we have the equipment, as I said, and we are now used to all this. So very hot areas, very cold areas, normal areas like Kenya, like Sagana is very perfect, just like Nairobi here. We don't expect to use the specialized equipment, specialized swimsuit. Yes, so we only use that Europe and South America, where especially the areas of Argentina, very, very cold areas. So that is the only thing you need. You just need a helmet. We also have a special paddle. The plastic paddles are not the best. We have something called fiber. Fiber is very light.
Yes.
Carbon fiber. It's very, very, very light. When you are paddling, it moves very fast. It makes you feel light, know it, and then you are able to paddle as fast as possible. So that's how you win the race. So, yeah, we are ready to do it.
How is the inspection done? Because I know, for example, if I was to make a reference to the WRC Safari Rally, is that when Kenyan drivers went to their fire suits, the overalls and this, there's an inspection that was done and they realized, wait a minute, this level is different. Not what we have been doing in a Kenya National Rally Championship. What do they look for?
Yeah, we have a course that we do. First of all, we have a judges course, which happens. So we are taken through a course to understand. It's a kind of a workshop, just to understand what to do, what to wear, how to do it, how to navigate. So it's a holistic thing that leaders or the captains of the team or team managers are taken through, and so that they can understand. So that is done, and there is also in the rules manual, it's already written there. It's very clear by United Rafting, so we don't see a problem there. Basically, you just need somebody who understands, who can follow up, and to see whether there's any changes so that they can advise the team. So far, so good. No problems whatsoever.
The raft that is used,
Yes.
and how at times, it survives. People will say, oh, you're just taking it over, and the rapids are basically rocks.
Yes. Actually, yeah. The rafts are very special. The material that is used to make them is actually a very special kind of material. Even the kind of air that we put, the normal air, because as you are saying, this equipment...
See, pumzi kama ya tairi.
Niyo tu, lakini kama... But you see, sometimes people try to take advantage and put helium, which makes it lighter. So all these things. So as far as the rafts are concerned, we have very special rafts, especially for our African rivers, because the coast is quite natural and it's quite rocky, that is a bit tough. Not like the normal ones that are used in Europe, which most of the time the course is probably man-made, so they know they have smoothened all the edges, so they can use a lighter boat. But us, we have very specific ones, and as a federation, we actually managed to get like 47 new ones for them, just to ensure that we have
for each
proper
county
infrastructure.
We'll be distributing them to other counties afterwards.
Yes.
But on adding on what Ibrahim said is that a competition, there are two types of raft. One is a commercial raft. A commercial raft is heavy, can be 73 kilos to 90 kilos, and can be big, because a commercial raft carries between 6 and 8 people. When people are doing, because it's a touristic kind of activity, people love, doing. 73
kgs inflated or not?
Inflated. And then, but for competition, the specifications are it's 35 kilos. So it has to be very light, because there are only 4 guys who are taking it. And we normally carry the rafts going outside the country using when we are flying out of the country. So you don't get penalized by charging extra weight, when you are carrying whatever. So it becomes easy. When we inflate complete kilos, which is nice, and you are there to go. So we are very specific, smaller boats, a little bit lighter, because you cannot use commercial boats. So it's a standard boat by Aqua Design in France. So that is what we do. Yeah, we use.
All right, closing words. So remember, it's the 10th to the 12th of July at the Rapids Camp in Sagana, the Rafting World Cup Series 2026, Kenya, and hosting it for the first time it's happening on African soil. Nyumba zimeisha huko?
Zishaisha boss. Zimeisha, lakini tents ziko, ubebe tent yako.
All right.
Yeah, hiyo, unajua sisi ni watu adventure. So we allow people to come with carrying their tents. We have groups which will be carrying their own tents. Yeah, nyumba zimechukuliwa sana, because it's this is there's a lot of, this is the big event currently in the country. Na watu wote wanaelekea Sagana, so barabara zote ni huko. Yeah, tushangilie team Kenya. We see what will happen. Yeah.
All right. Details, what everyone needs to know. So as accessing Rapids Camp in that place. Actually, on that route, the moment you get onto Thika Road, drive straight until you get to a place that is very, very straight.
Exactly.
And you'll see.
Yeah.
I know that stretch. It's called 5 kilometers to be precise.
That's true.
Yes. So
you can't miss it. Yeah, because it's very on the road. And basically we have a very big signage, Kenya Rafting Federation, because you see, we discovered, because we don't have an office in Nairobi, we just get one in Sagana, so somebody provided the office to us. Easier to train, easier to get the equipment, we allow people to go. So, hautakosa, tumeweka maandiko kubwa sana, maandishi Kenya Rafting. Kuingia ni $500, and then 1,500 for VIP. Yeah, and then, yes, of course, so hiyo ndio iko. So tunaambia watu wakuje, tumeweka tikiti kidogo, watu wanakaga nyingi, but us is 500. Russia side, kuna Russia side, and athlete side, pande ile ingine, 1,500. Yes.
So I want to be on the Russia side. If I go there, it's always more fun being on the Russia side. Thank you very much. Yeah. He's chair of the local organizing committee of the Rafting World Cup Series, the Kenya event that is taking place on the 10th to the 12th of July. And we've got Ibrahim Mwangi, Treasurer, Kenya Rafting Federation. Well, it's been that conversation. And remember also, the Commonwealth Games are coming. And the Team Kenya expected to be from the 16th of July. But we've got Julius Yego, 6-time African champion, who's here with us. And also joining us via Zoom will be Diana Wanza, the current 10,000 meters African champion. First, the highlights of the round of 32, and we'll be back with Julius.
Eustachio. Goalkeeper wanted to come for it, he didn't get to it. What a clearance on the line! And again, and then the goalkeeper Williams himself, third time. South Africa escape. Somehow.
Miraculous. Oh, Williams, I wonder, did he make 2 saves here? He got himself in a...
But still, he waits to play a minute in this World Cup. Sigor lays it out. Jonathan David, brilliant defending again. Look at Williams here. The big moment came for Canada. The front two